Flame on! This is the story of Johnny Storm, the Human Torch in Marvel Rivals. I am going to catch you up on the story so you can keep playing the game. So welcome to Chapter 1, Fire Exemption Test. The story begins where all stories should. In the vampire-infested streets of Dracula's New York, Johnny Storm continues his daily, or well, in this case, nightly patrols to burn out any vampires creeping near the Baxter building. Knowing that he's at the top of Dracula's hit list for eradicating so many of his minions, the Human Torch wears his #1 target status like a badge of honor. Now one night, while scanning for threats near Bryant Park, Johnny torches 2 vampires before heading down to Madison Avenue, ensuring that no mass of undead is gathering near the Baxter building, which funnily enough sits uncomfortably close to Dracula's castle. As he flies south, he reflects on the few remaining superheroes still fighting. There's Blade, Moon Knight, Scarlet Witch, and Spider-Man, with Spider-Man, one of Johnny's oldest friends, itching to check on Aunt May over in Queens, but New York just is not New York without Spider-Man. And Johnny's sweep is soon interrupted by a thunderous explosion, followed by a column of smoke rising from Park Avenue. What emerges is nothing short of insane. A gigantic stone monster, at least 10 times the size of an elephant, with 3-digit pincers instead of hands, moving with the jerky rhythm of a stop-motion dinosaur. Johnny recognizes this creature as one of the deviant mutates, which are creatures that the Fantastic Four encountered on their very first mission, who are often used by Mole Man. But something is wrong here. The creature's eyes glow with this eerie, empty light of a lower-level vampire. This deviant mutate has been turned into a vampire. What? Johnny instantly realizes Dracula has escalated his strategy. If human vampires couldn't kill him, then maybe a giant vampire rock monster could. The creature charges up Madison Avenue towards the Baxter building, bearing stony fangs at Johnny. He blasts it with fire, but unlike normal vampires, this one doesn't burn. The fact that vampires even manage to turn a creature made of rock is baffling, and Johnny starts talking to himself. He says, how did they even bite this thing? It's made out of rock. As the monster smashes its pincers into the street, sending manhole covers flying like spinning coins, Benjamin Grimm, the Thing, comes barreling into view from 33rd Street. With his usual gruff humor, he takes to the scene and says, "Torch, you just draw trouble wherever you go. Vampires ain't bad enough." Johnny shouts back, "Yo, this one's a vampire too!" The monster lunges at Ben, but while its size is overwhelming, the Thing is nimble enough to dodge its attacks. Despite their combined strength, Johnny and Ben struggle to devise a strategy. Johnny's flames won't work, and Ben can only swat it away momentarily. Their best bet is to drive it back into the hole it came from. That is when Spider-Man swings into action, and he shouts, "Hey, Torch! My spidey sense has been tingling like crazy for the last 10 minutes. And I guess I know why now." Johnny Storm, still dodging the monster's pincers, yells, "Get some webs on it, Pete. I'm gonna dive under it." The plan comes together quickly. Spider-Man webs the monster to the upper buildings on Park Avenue, suspending it half in and half out of the hole it created. Then, Johnny baits the monster by flying directly beneath it, forcing it to lunge at him. The monster clamps its gigantic pincers around him, pinning him down. It bares its fangs, but Johnny takes a calculated risk, turning up his heat to supernova levels. At that moment, Ben Grimm rips the webbing loose, tearing down a chunk of the building's corner, sending the monster plunging downward. Then Johnny goes Nova. The resulting explosion of plasma fire and heat stuns the vampire stone creature, while also melting the concrete and steel of the subway tunnels, collapsing them into a pit that buries the monster deep beneath Park Avenue. And as the dust settles, Johnny flames off and lands on the street. back to normal, along with Ben, who is lowered down by one of Spider-Man's webs. And as he's being lowered, he grumbles, "Oh, this is humiliating." And Johnny smirks, looks up at him and says, "Couldn't have done it without you, Benji." And now Spider-Man lands beside them and says, "Pretty neat trick." Ben Grimm now on the floor stares at the gaping hole and mutters, "It might come up again, you know." Johnny Storm follows his gaze towards Dracula's castle, where he can almost feel the vampire lord's rage at yet another failure to destroy him. Dracula is watching. Johnny knows it, and he loves it. Still staring at the castle, Johnny begins to yell, "Come and get me, if you've got the guts." And that, my rivals, is the end of chapter 1. And man, this is a good story. Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, Spider-Man. I have no idea who Peter Parker is, by the way. Teaming up together, defeating a huge rock monster that turned into a vampire. Yo, we're getting some developments on this Dracula storyline, man. Very good stuff. We got a mention of Blade, Moon Knight, Scarlet Witch. Now, I'm thinking this is a Scarlet Witch that is from this universe. Before, I believe she either disappears or dies. I think she just disappears to another universe. I think. Sorry, I've read a lot of these stories. Sometimes these different iterations of these characters, I get confused sometimes. But Scarlet Witch, at some point in the future, is no longer in the present day timeline. So at least right here, she is still fighting the vampires. We also got a mention of Mole Man. Probably, I don't know if we're gonna see him in the game. We might, but this is a cool reference nonetheless. But what a heated way, you like that? What a heated way to start off this Fantastic Four story arc we got. Starting off with the Human Torch, and now we got the 3 others to go through. I like the story a lot. What did you think though? Go down in the comments and let me know what you thought. While you're down there, also, please leave a like on the video. If you do that, it helps get this video out to more people. It helps grow the channel. I would appreciate that very much. If you want to support even further, YouTube channel memberships are available. You get a badge next to your name. You support the channel directly. You get early access to videos when I can provide that for you. And of course, I would appreciate that very much as well. But with all of that said, I thank you for watching. But you have to remember, even though I thank you for watching, you and I, we are rivals till the end. And it doesn't matter if I'm about to get the brakes beat off of me and then you go supernova and save my life. I am never going to forget that.